fiscal 20.
Whoa, that's pretty fancy.
Disappeared. Was that a freak out?
Is that for Halloween? All right, good evening. It is October 17th, 6:15 p.m. I call to order the meeting of the Perry Carnegie Library Board. Roll call, please.
Sterling.
Here.
Morrill.
Here.
Platt. Here. Eversole. Marshall.
Here.
Franklin.
Here.
Gilbert. Here. Coldiron.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
There is a quorum. Mr. Bill Streller, can you lead us in prayer, please?
You bet. Will you pray with me, please? Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the weather. We thank you for the city. We thank you for the knowledge that you give us daily and the protection you give us daily. We thank you for the mercies that you bestow upon us. And we ask that you continue to bless us as a city. We continue to bless us as a council and give us the knowledge that we need as a council to further the activities in this city. And we ask you that you guide our decisions, that our decisions will always glorify you to the best of our ability. We pray this through your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Our first item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Hopefully you've had a chance to look over the items on the consent agenda. Are there any items that need to be removed that we need to discuss?
Move to approve as presented.
A motion?
Second.
And a second. Roll call?
Sterling. Surprised me.
Yes.
Morrill.
Yes.
Platt.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Coldiron.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
This is going to be a meeting.
All right, this is going to be fun. All right, any comments from those assembled on the Perry Carnegie Library Board? Thought I had one. Guess not. Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 5. That's a presentation of the oral quarterly report from on library usage and statistics on the Perry Carnegie Library by Ms. Pam Rigg.
Hello. So this last week I attended the Public Library Directors Retreat in Stillwater. This is fun, even though I'm a small fish, even with all the large fish. But, I was with Tulsa City County and places like that. I learned what other city libraries and library systems are doing. Retiring legislators Jim Halligan and Representative Lynn Denny shared how to approach legislators concerning funding and library issues. That was fun because they're retiring. They spilled. They don't have anything to lose. So they shared all their secrets. We also learned about current trends in libraries and discussed proposed changes to library legislation. Improvements. We went live with PC Reservation a few weeks ago. It's wonderful. Patrons with a library card in good standing are able to log themselves onto the computers. There is a time limit and patrons can take 2 15-minute extensions if no one's waiting. We can send them notes, make guest passes, extend their time, or discontinue their session. They are given warnings when their time is almost up or before the library closes. The computers even shut off 15 minutes before we close. And that's nice because that way people don't stay on the computer till closing and then go look at the shelves for their items and then go check them out. So that's a very sweet function for us. Outreach. I was asked to speak with Rotary on September 19th. Many of the Rotarians didn't realize we have ebooks and were excited to hear of the service. Building maintenance. The new carpeting tiles and laminate flooring look awesome. The freshly painted walls pop and the decals have been added to the walls. Ditch Witch moved us in today and we can't say enough good things about their wonderful employees. I truly can't imagine doing this project without their assistance, and we'll start moving the library materials downstairs soon. The handicap door is just worn out. These doors are expensive. They are fire doors with a handicap mechanism that lock from the inside and the outside. They are ordered as a set, and there will probably be a delay because of Hurricane Matthew and the demand for doors. Children's programming. We have been awarded a Zoomobile visit next summer. This will be for free. Linda's in the process of planning story times and after-school programs. We'll be focusing on science experiments and crafts for the after-school programs because that's what gets the kids in the door. Upcoming events. You all have in your packet a list of the programs that we're going to be doing for the adults for the next 3 months. We're doing crafts and we're doing movies. We've also submitted these to PIN and we're putting them on Facebook. We are limited on advertising movie titles. We pay for the public performance rights, but I can't say the movie titles out loud. November 10th, sequel to a movie about a wedding in a Greek family. December 8th, movie about an airplane landing on the Hudson River. January 12th is about a girl who is cured after an illness. These are shown at 10 a.m. and we have a commercial popcorn popper. That popcorn is good, and I think some of those people just show up for that popcorn, but they're just as welcome. Adult programs on Tuesdays at 1:30, we're going to make coasters. They can bring pictures or decorative napkins. We're going to charge $1 a coaster. December 13th, Thorns will be demonstrating bow making and gift wrapping. There'll be an optional cookie exchange, so bring 2 dozen cookies and a copy of the recipe. January 17th, we're going to try a book discussion group. We're doing things different. We're not telling people what book to read because I don't want anybody telling me what book to read. And then we'll all share what we enjoyed or what we didn't enjoy and recommend the book or not. And we'll have chocolate there because chocolate is a good draw. So the library is participating in the way we work, exhibit with the Smithsonian, Main Street, Cherokee Strip, Museum, and other area stakeholders. We have rummaged through our archives from the library and found fascinating items. We really have. We found copies of letters from Andrew Carnegie. We have receipt books that are like 100 years old where they've accessioned the book for like 79 cents. So these are fun things, and we're going to put those out during that time period. And we're also going to have a couple programs. This has been sort of a weird, choppy year. Now we're happy with our weird, choppy year because that means we accomplished a lot. So we shut down for about 5 weeks, and we put in carpeting. And then, so we moved everything out of upstairs and put it back in. Then we had summer reading program. Summer reading program, I've said it before, it's a zoo, a wonderful zoo. And then we hurried up to get the new flooring installed downstairs. So, you ever feel like you're getting old? We've been moved out of our rut. And we're excited about planning for programs for the future and doing more library things, and we can move a little bit back in our rut. So come see us at the library programs. Do you have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 6 on our agenda has to do with the proposed changes to the library policy manual. Hopefully you all had a chance to read through some of the changes that were listed in your packet. Do you have any questions about the proposed changes? Okay. I would entertain a motion to accept these changes if one would so be moved to move.
Motion to accept changes.
Have a motion
Second.
and a second. Roll call, please.
Stroller.
Yes.
Morrell.
Yes.
Platt. Yes. Marshall.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Gilbreth. Yes. Coldiron.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Item number 7 has to do with setting the schedule for the library board meeting for 2017. Hopefully you've all had a chance to review those meeting schedule changes or additions. What would you like to do with those?
Move to accept.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Stroller.
Yes.
Morrell.
Yes.
Platt. Yes. Marshall.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Gilbreth. Yes. Coldiron.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Any new business to talk about? New business for the Perry Carnegie Library Board? Seeing none, item number 9.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. I was wondering, roll call?
Stroller.
Yes.
Morrell.
Yes.
Platt. Yes. Marshall.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Gilbreth. Yes. Coldiron.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
It's all yours, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. I call this a regular meeting of the Perry Municipal Authority. It is October 17th, 2016. Roll call, please.
Stroller.
Here.
Morrell.
Here.
Platt. Here. Eversole. Marshall.
Here?
Franklin.
Here.
Gilbreth. Here. Coldiron.
Here.
Johnson.
Here. I do declare a quorum. Our agenda, have item 1, the consent agenda. We need a motion to receive and approve the minutes of the regular PMA meeting of October 3rd, 2016.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Stroller,
Yes.
Morrow,
Yes.
Platt,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Goldar,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Any comments from those assembled concerning the PMA this evening? Any comments? Any comment? Seeing none. Item 5, proclamations, commendations, reports, and inquiries by the governing body. Council, staff? Seeing none. Item 6, consider establishing certain schedules. That is, setting these dates for regular meetings as required by law. Setting dates for holidays is provided in the personnel manual. A, set the date for PMA meetings for 2017. Nobody?
Make a motion to approve the meeting schedule for 2017.
I got a question. Why on February 23rd, we moved it to Thursday? Why do we do that? Why is it not like on Tuesday or,
I think it's to accommodate,
oh, the attorney?
I believe so.
I'm good, I just wonder why it was, I always wonder why we just booted out some of them off.
So you want to move to make it on Tuesday?
Well, we have Tonkawa on Tuesday. They have one meeting a month. And so I tried to, so that I don't miss February and March. I try to break it up so I'll miss a Blackwell meeting because I won't miss your meeting. So I like it when you accommodate me a little bit.
I'll make the motion, we move it, no. No, I'm good with it. I just wanted, I didn't know it was for that.
Dix and I wanted it to be January 5th, but we got overruled, so.
January 5th, I'm talking about February 23rd.
I know.
Oh.
And for that accommodation, we do get a special rate for that?
But about 40 or 50% off everyone else's.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate that.
Everyone else's rate.
Believe it or not.
No, I'm good with that. I didn't know why. I just wanted to ask.
Yeah.
We have a motion to approve item A then.
We have a motion, we need a second? Second.
We'll vote on item A.
Stroller,
Yes.
Morrow,
Yes.
Platt,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Goldar, Johnson.
Yes. Item B, set the schedule for PMA holiday schedule for 2017. It's also included in your packet, very next page.
Motion to approve schedule.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Stroller,
Yes.
Morrow,
Yes.
Platt,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Goldar,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. All right, moving on. Item 7, consider approval of an agreement between the City of Perry, Oklahoma, K Electric Corporation for 70 kW power generator for the Perry Municipal Airport. Mary, do you want to talk about this? a little?
I can. I can't remember how long ago it was, but K Electric was, or the airport was out of power due to K Electric, and they weren't able to get to the airport because of other things, other areas that they were working on to get power restored. And so the airport was without power for quite some time. And so we, just as a result of that, we learned about the program that K Electric offers for generators. And primarily they've been doing this for residential customers, but they are also starting to work with commercial customers as well. And so we contacted them. They did a little bit of they monitored the power, did a power monitor to see what kind of meter, how much of a meter we needed. And so these were the options that they presented to us. We could either do just the terminal and the adjoining hangar, and I believe the cost for that was $18,100, or we could power the entire airport for $22,000. So we thought we'd bring this to the PMA to see if that was something you'd be interested in. They would then, would pay $150 a year for maintenance for them to maintain it. So it's just a reliability, it's just a way to have reliable electricity for the airport and the users. And so, because without the electric, we have no lights on the runway. I mean, it's, the beacon's out. I mean, it's pretty much, there's nothing out there unless we have, the backup generator. So we're recommending that the PMA consider this expenditure and transferring funds in, for the purchase, so.
Will K Electric install this
Yes, they
generator?
do the installation.
And is it,
They purchase the generator and they install it.
it looked like there was a question about, it's run by propane?
Yes.
And so they will install a propane tank, or
I believe
is
they
that
do.
our responsibility?
No, that's ours.
That's ours?
There's already 2 propane tanks in
And
there.
there's existing tanks. in
Okay,
there,
so you're gonna connect in with the existing tanks? Okay. There was a question, I think in a note that said there was a cost thing. 18,000 was the final cost in one of the email back and forth.
That was for, if you only wanted to have a generator to power the terminal and the hangar, adjoining hangar. So that would not power any of the runway lights or any of the other lights on the airport itself.
So the total expenditure for the project is 22 grand.
Right, if you wanted to do all the airport, it seemed to be cost effective, for not that much more.
Yeah, for another,
Well, you're still
$4,000.
shut down if you don't have the lights on. I mean, you
Right.
can,
I'd rather have the airport lights on.
I would too.
me too. So,
So-
especially if we're dealing with storm damage or something like that.
And you're getting, for $4,000, you're getting almost half again as much generator.
Exactly, so,
Why are we proposing the transfer as opposed to just using airport funds?
The airport funds, we'd actually transfer those out of the airport restricted cash into the PMA to pay for it. Yeah. So but we need to transfer because they are restricted funds at this point.
Gotcha.
Motion to approve.
second?
Roll call, please.
Stroller,
Yes.
Morrow,
Yes.
Platt,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Thank you, council. Any new business to be brought before the authority this evening? Excuse me, the authority. Seeing none?
Motion adjourned. Second.
Stroller,
Yes.
Morrow,
Yes.
Platt. Yes. Marshall.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Goldar. Johnson.
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
Oh,
All right, I call to order the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Perry, Oklahoma. It is October 17, 2016. Roll call, please.
Stroller,
Here.
Morrow,
Here.
Platt.
Here.
Stoll, Marshall.
Here.
Franklin.
Here.
Gilbert.
Here.
Goldar.
Here.
Johnson.
Here. Item 1, the consent agenda. Items A through K. I need a motion to accept as presented or remove any items from there that you would like to discuss.
Motion to accept?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Stroller,
Yes.
Morrow,
Yes.
Platt. Yes. Marshall.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Item 4, comments from those assembled pertaining to the agenda this evening. Comment? Seeing none. Item 5, proclamations, commendations, reports, and inquiries by the governing body.
I'd like to congratulate our marching band, high school marching band, for a third year in a row, they've got the OBA state championship. So I was very happy to see that.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I would like
thank you,
to,
thank you for putting the being the cameraman.
Oh, yeah.
And
The Facebook Live.
the Facebook Live.
Yes, that was
We
neat.
appreciate that.
I'd like to express my thanks to the folks who put on the Touch a Truck program.
That's
That was
okay.
real interesting and a lot of fun for an old man even. So it was cool. And watching those little kids crawl all over the equipment was,
My new cars, I really appreciated it.
yeah. And the sirens going. It was, and the helicopter and the whole 9 yards. If you missed it, make sure you get it next year. I hope it becomes an annual event. It's
That was,
very, very
that
good.
was a chamber function.
Yeah.
It was,
Pretty cool.
it was nice.
A lot of fun. Any others? Okay, item 6, city manager reports, monthly project update. Ms. Rupp.
Well, I just had to bring to your attention, because I know you all read all these monthly reports and everything that's on the consent docket. But we figured out how to sell plots at the cemetery. All you have to do is raise the price, and so after the price was raised,
It was
we
rolled on
sold
the market.
17 grave plots before the price went into effect. So we now know it's like, it's a sale, everybody loves a sale, so here we go.
Half price until.
Yes.
Works
Anyway,
every time.
I just had to mention that. I just thought it was kind of interesting. We had Public Power Week last week. 75 people came through, and I think that's the most ever.
I came in the next day.
Well, 76 then. You were just a day late. Gave out all sorts of literature and light bulbs, and Jennifer Rogers was there on behalf of OMPA, and she brought some really neat cups. And so some of the ones that got the cups, they went back to work, showed their co-workers the cups, and so then they came, and so before too long, the cups were gone, and so the ones that came later were a little disappointed, so.
Did you happen to rat hole about 9 of those for us that could not attend?
Well, I think we could arrange for that.
She
Thank
failed,
you.
she failed in that mission.
It didn't
So
sound like it.
I think we could arrange for that.
Thank you.
Anyway, Autumn Jardo did a great job organizing and coordinating this year's open house. It is a requirement for the CUP program, and but we have a lot of fun with it, and it's really fun when the people bring their kids in, and they get the colors and the coloring books and all of that, so it's a fun day. CCC Lake is getting ready to be stocked with trout later this month, and so they will stock on October 27th, and so it will be closed to the public until November 1, reopen on November 1 for trout fishing. And the Chamber's going to sponsor a fishing tournament on that Saturday. So Saturday, the November 5th, and so we're excited to have the trout season open again, and this will be the 3rd year, and we have a lot of people, already calling and asking about it, so we'll be promoting it through the Stillwater paper, and through Wildlife has it in their publications, and they usually do a press release, but we'll try to supplement that with some additional contacts with some area newspapers. The average billing program is one of those programs that we offer that helps kind of smooth out the amounts of your utility bill, and you can sign up for that in October, November, and December. We'll be getting some information out a little with the details on that, but it does let you kind of plan ahead, budget, if your income is fixed, that you can kind of plan ahead. That way cuts out the highs and the lows, and it just does change a little bit through the year, but not nearly as much as if you're on the regular cycle. Good news is all the city's the surplus items that we consigned to the auction sold, and we're going to net $8,370. So we'll continue to take advantage of that consignment auction in the future when they have them again. And this week, Dixie will be at the Clerks Conference in Stillwater, and so there will be a whole lot of city clerks in Stillwater this week. So it's
fun.
It's fun. They have a lot. They do have a lot of fun. They do have a lot of fun. Way more fun than city managers, I can tell you that. Any questions on the city manager report? Before I move on. Quickly on the city manager project update. I forgot to get my glasses out, and I'll try to. The notice of award was sent to Evans and Associates for the street project on Ivanhoe, and they're coordinating with Evans on a date for pre-construction meeting and a project start date. Evans has the street project, and they also have the project at the airport, the parallel taxiway, and then another smaller project out there. So I'm sure they're going to try to coordinate that and do that all at the same time while they're in this area. So we're looking at towards the end of October, early November, I think, is kind of what we're shooting for. On the sewer master plan phase 1 pre-construction meeting with urban contractors is November 10th. It's going to be a big project and a lot of public information out to the residents and the businesses. So that will be coming up. And wastewater plant, we have an item later on the agenda to authorize bidding for that, and the bids will be open November 9th. On the 15th Street culvert, work is in progress, should be finished towards the end of this week or early next week, I believe, on the crossover. Not the 15th Street project, the crossover on Fur is what I'm trying to say. So they've excavated and should have that crossover finished, hopefully end of this week, early next week, I think. So.
Now that's the Crystal Boulevard, correct?
Yes.
Hey, I am excited about that.
Hey, I am too. It's a wonder there haven't been more wrecks. I was following a vehicle last night about dusk, and they came up to the construction signs. And you know, it says caution, and it's got that one lane closed there, and they turned and went and started heading down the wrong lane of traffic. So it's very confusing about dusk, but it's going to be nice to cut across there and not have to go clear out around.
Yeah, it will be.
Very much so.
Then on the 15th Street culvert replacement that I was getting mixed up with, there's a pre-work meeting tomorrow, and they're going to start construction this week. So so 15th Street will be closed to traffic, and they do.
It says that meeting's gonna be Wednesday. All right, the 19th?
It may be Wednesday.
Pre-work, Cimarron construction, October 19th.
When is that project gonna start? Because I need to, seriously, I mean, that's really vital to our company. So I need to find out, we're gonna reroute our trucks to get them in and out of our yard.
Right. It's closing this week. 15th Street will close down this week for about 60 days.
How long, 60 days?
Yeah.
So is it like Thursday?
If the meeting's
Actually,
Wednesday.
the pre-work meeting is tomorrow. It's actually the 18th, so I have an error there. I know it's tomorrow because I'm going to be gone and I'm missing it. So we will know, you know, they plan to start probably the 20th, I believe.
What
So
time is
Thursday.
it?
I don't know because I'm not going.
Jesse, would you mind?
You need to reroute tomorrow, basically.
Yeah, I'm lost.
Well, we put it on Facebook and we've tried to notify people.
Well, no, that's fine. I just need to tell the company because we're gonna have to come in from the south. We come
Yeah.
in from the north now.
Yeah.
And so sometime this
Sounds
week.
like Sounds like starting,
You just need to reroute tomorrow.
yeah.
The guy
I'll
came
give you
in-
a personal call to let you know when
Bill?
it's gonna close.
Your truck came in from the south last night because at midnight I watched him go down the street.
Oh, that's
From
cool.
the south. So-
Gordon,
He
will
said
they, or
that's
Mary
cool.
Ann Gordon, will they tear out the old one, or will they just build over it?
No, tear it out.
Okay, I didn't
Part
know
of
if
the
it would stay in
excavation.
place in the essence of time, or, and build around, or how?
Pull it out.
Start from scratch.
Come scrap dust away.
Actually, they weren't going to start construction this early, but it just worked out for them, for the contractor, that they were able to get
Oh, I think it's a
to
good
move
idea.
here
Once we
earlier.
get the weather.
So it did kind of catch us by surprise a little bit. Not last week, but the week before last, Dixie and Bryce and I met with Stan Ralston, who's the Northwest Regional Development Specialist with the Department of Commerce, and provided him some updates on Perry and kind of what we have going. He's not been in that position for a real long time, and so then Bryce toured him around Perry and showed him all sorts of things that we have going on and things that we have in the works, some of the other amenities that we have, and Stan was really impressed with Perry. He just had no idea that we had some of the things that we have here. And so that will help him in his job to promote Perry and kind of understand some of the businesses that he comes in contact with, what Perry has to offer, and bring those to us in time. And then when I was in Dallas for the ICSC, I don't want to say it,
It's all right.
ICSC conference. Department of Commerce, and Stan was one of them. They had a presence there, and that was the first time the Department of Commerce had ever sent representatives to that conference. And so the folks in Oklahoma felt pretty good that Commerce is starting to realize that retail development in our communities is an important function, and that they're going to spend some more of their time, staff time, and working with communities to help promote retail in Oklahoma. There were, at the conference, ICSC conference in Dallas, there were 225 exhibitors there. And it was very noticeable that retail didn't have much of a presence there. Lots of brokers, lots of realtors, lots of cities, lots of, lot of businesses that work with economic development, but not that many retailers. And Walmart did not have their new store people there. The only ones that, the people that they had at the conference was Walmart Realty. And those are the ones that are selling Walmart properties that have either been replaced with newer stores or, aren't performing or whatever the case may be. So Walmart did not have a presence there as far as new retail, new stores. And so I think, that does send a message that the economy, is continuing to be slow, and businesses are very cautious. I think the election probably has something to do with that, possibly, because they're just, a little bit nervous about how things are going to go in November. So I was able to make contact, but mostly like fast foods, not a lot of businesses that we'd really like to see. We want fast food, but not the restaurants that we'd really like to see in Perry. And so we'll be following up with the ones that I talked with, and those that I didn't have a chance to talk to, I'll follow up with them too, since I have all their contact info. If anybody's interested, this was the little map and a list out all the companies that had booths at the conference. The Oklahoma has a booth that they call Oklahoma Opportunities, and so the quite a few of the cities in Oklahoma and one of the tribes have gone together, and so they have a booth where they exhibit and provide information about Oklahoma communities. And Broken Arrow and Norman both had their own booths at the conference. So, it's, like I say, it was a little disappointing. I'm not sure it's really worth the time and effort and the money just to attend this conference, until the retail economy picks up a little bit. So that would be all I would have to say on that.
Oh, Wassa didn't have their own booth there?
No.
That's surprising.
Yeah, me too.
Real nice little lady.
On the employee performance measurement, Dixie's been working with the department heads on job descriptions. She's finished up street and cemetery, and she confessed to me today that the fire actually isn't complete, but it's pretty darn close to being complete. So those are, and she's working on those pretty diligently. She has this week off since she's going to the Cooks Conference. So. BMAC held their final tournament yesterday. We had a really nice tournament all set up for 14 and under, and then it fell apart for whatever various reasons. Sometimes teams, they sign up when they don't know, they sign up on for several tournaments, and then they decide, a couple weeks ahead of time which tournament they're really going to go to. So we had some that couldn't get enough players, some that when they saw other teams drop out, they dropped out too, because that was the team they wanted to play. So the 14 under tournament didn't make, but we had yesterday had a one-day tournament with 10 under teams, and so we'll hopefully, I still think we've had a great season. There was another great comment on the Facebook page today. So, we'll be working with Perry Kids and, working ahead for next spring. On the irrigation, I think most of the problem has been resolved, but there's still a few issues left, and definitely want to get that all taken care of before we start having freezing weather. On the rail corridor project, I think someone had asked whether the Elm Crossing was going to stay open while the Cedar Crossing was being worked on, and so I did get a positive response from the BNSF on that. They said it made sense to them, and I'm going, oh, well, thank you. So anyway, so that way the Elm Crossing will be open, and will put give us a little bit of relief while the Cedar Crossings are closed for repair. The Perry Dam rehabilitation, there'll be a big meeting on December 1st for all the primary parties to review the comments on the 90% design, and so that's coming up. Already talked about the parallel taxiway project. On the sidewalk tap program, we met with ODOT, and they went over the consultant selection and the contracting options that we have for the project. So we'll have some decisions to make on that on moving forward. So that's all I have on the project update.
Any questions?
This may not be a question for you, Mary, but I remember a few meetings back brought up the quiet zone for a railroad. Did that ever get any attention?
I did talk with Craig Stevenson in Ponca City, and it just, trying to remember, it just worked out that they were able to do that. The railroad had the equipment that they needed, and the city purchased some equipment that needed to because they had to close it off totally. You know, you can't have just the cross arms down, you had to have it so that, you know, the entire crossing was blocked. And so it you know, cost some additional funds, but they have it in one location. It was what I understood anyway, so. But they worked with the railroad to do that.
So it's one crossing?
I believe so. I mean,
Okay.
that was,
I think it's more than that, but. Sorry.
And to go along with that, I wanted to go ahead and ask, like, out here on Fur, we've got one set of, and I brought this up at a meeting, we've got one set of arms that come down for one track and the other one doesn't. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. And I've watched people, the more that I've noticed this, the more I've watched people get kind of trapped in there when cars get off on the spur. Gonna be a bad one there if they don't get that taken care of. We really need to look into that.
they have a project on the, you know, in their, they do have a project to do that. And because it's Highway 64, the city doesn't have any involvement in that. We don't have to pay anything. We don't have to, you know, there isn't anything that we have to do. It's between ODOT and BNSF. But I do know, I think it's been as long ago as a couple of years that we had a coordinating meeting there at that location to talk about the project.
I hope they can get it,
I know who to call.
I hope they can get it rectified before someone gets killed.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry I didn't already do that.
Thank you.
Next item is Financial Officer, Mr. Meacham.
Well, and some of you are disappointed that I'm here tonight. I'm going to expedite the process because my over-under is going to run out,
Oh,
and I've got to make sure that I keep my under going. So,
Should have kicked me.
Russ, I would like to apologize for the four-made comments.
oh, okay. Well, thank you, Mike.
I sincerely apologize.
Guys, I at least have some decent news for you tonight. You know, looking at things, I can't tell you how often right now as I go around and we do these month in and month out presentations to councils and financials, you know, I'm almost every week talking about, guys, all right, we've got to rein it in a little more. We've got to cut back a little more. We've got to kind of do it. And we've really started talking more and more day in and day out about a cash burn rate, you know, and that being how fast are we going through the money that we have left, you know, with these cities. And literally this morning I had about a 2-hour meeting with the city manager and at another city, not here, but talking specifically about that and about, hey, our burn rate is too high. We've got to look at even some deeper budget cuts than what we thought we were going to have to do. I say all that whenever I look at the cash schedule this month and whenever we sit down and kind of talk about where we are here. You know, we actually had an increase this month in our overall cash. You know, we were up $12,000. That, guys, it's a positive number. You know, now don't get me wrong. We're going to have a couple of months here as we get into the winter when our electric rates fall off and those kind of things happen. That we're going to have some decreases. But all in all, we're still going to be well within our budget and well within what we've experienced and what we've planned. Part of that is, you know, I mean, it's just Mary's not just approving every PO that walks across the desk and just says, oh yeah, let's just go spend this money and let's go on down the road. So that's integral in the success of what happens. So, you know, whenever I point out tonight, if I leave you with anything, the thing that, you know, we probably want to know at the end of the first quarter, we're ahead of where we should have been budget-wise. I mean, if we were on budget, we would be down right now in those cash numbers, and we'd be off a little bit. So we are ahead of the game as far as that goes, which is good news. Looking at the general fund, just in particular, you know, we should be at 25% of our budgeted numbers. You know, the first quarter of the year, as you can kind of look down through there, you'll see all of the numbers outside of the park for the seasonality and outside of the economic development for our prior year purchase commitments that we finally took care of this year. You know, everything else is still within budget. We're still on track and in line with what we would expect for the year. On a good note, as good as it can be, I guess I'll say that, with October numbers on sales tax coming in, we're only going to be down 3% in our sales tax collections over prior year. We budgeted it at 12, we're only going to be down 3. And matter of fact, our October collections are going to be up 13% over last year's collections. So,
What is that attributable to?
right now, we don't have the detailed report, so I can't give you the exact piece, but just an overall economic side note and an overall economic piece. That's good news for us, and that's what we want to see. So if, knock on wood, if we have hit the bottom and we're now starting a rebound number, that's going to be great news for us. You listen to the rest of the state, you listen to what they're saying, even down at the Capitol, they're still not touting that yet, but we are seeing it, and I will say that in our smaller municipalities, we're seeing that more and more right now. That we kind of feel like we found a bottom. Until October's numbers came out, I wasn't going to tell you guys that here, but if we found the bottom on that sales tax, then now all we have to do is go up from here. So that would be good for us, and could be good news for our overall budget over the rest of the year. So that's really the piece coming out there. If you're looking at the Perry Municipal Authority, they're outside of the seasonality for our electric and our water, everything's right in line with where we would expect it. So, I don't have anything stellar to tell you this month. Well, I do have something though on a tad bit of a down note. The first month in 46 months of running it that our hotel motel tax collections fell below what our debt service payment was on our ballparks. Our debt service payment is $17,900 a month. We only collected $16,800 in hotel motel taxes this month. So sales tax is up, hotel motel tax is down. I don't have a corollary answer for you exactly on what caused those two pieces, but I will tell you we have $280,000 still set aside related to hotel motel excess collections from when we started. So 1 month of this being under what our debt service payment is, I'm not concerned, but I do want you guys to know that would be the only down number that I even have to share with you tonight.
Will your report show if they've all reported?
Yes. Yeah. We actually track that on that report by hotel. And so we know exactly who's paying, and it can't be a public document, but internally, yes, we track that.
I remember we did some audits that you found some people who weren't paying, right? And
Yeah, we have, in looking at total sales tax numbers though, I haven't come back to Mary and said, hey, I think we've got, just looking at the trends, like we need to go look at these couple. I don't have any right now that are on the radar that I'm concerned about. But that's not to say that if Mary says, "Hey, let's go do a couple," we won't go do it. I don't see anything right now that says go out and spend the money doing that. Whatever. I don't see that we're going to get anything right now. I wouldn't project that we were going to get anything out of it. So.
Is that new hotel open yet?
So they don't have a grand opening or anything?
I haven't heard anything.
That's all I have for you.
Thank you, Russ.
Any questions,
Make me feel
Comments? concerns? All right, next item 8, Main Street of Perry Youth, Main Street Committee. Introduction of chairman, explanation of the purposes. So would you introduce yourself to the council?
I'm
Your
Kayla
guest?
Strum. I'm the assistant at Main Street of Perry. This is our chairman, Jessica Barron, and one of our youth committee members, Braylee Gilbert. And tonight we're here because after over 35 years of the National Main Street program being in existence, they're going through a current refresh of their program, and that's filtering down to all the different states and all the different community Main Street programs such as ours, and we're trying to make those changes as well. And we're actively seeking new committee members or volunteers. And a part of that is after 20 years of the Main Street in Perry, we haven't had a youth committee. And so this is the first time in that 20 years that we have organized and carried out a youth committee program. And we're very excited about it, and we are very excited to introduce our current chairman, and we're excited to see how our youth can add to our overall mission of our downtown historic preservation through economic revitalization. And so we might teach that to them.
Okay, yeah. So I'm Jessica Vennard. I am a senior at Perry High School, and yeah, I'm the chairman. So basically, as my job, I coordinate and run the meetings, and then I help Kayla with whatever she needs. And then, so basically, what we're trying to do is help any of the businesses downtown, whether it's they need to just make their business look more alive by planting or maybe a new paint job or anything like that. So we have a group, and it's small, it's a little small, but I think we're gonna grow because I think we're gonna do a lot of great stuff this year. And it's gonna be really fun, and we're all it's really cool that we're learning about our history and getting to preserve it because it's our hometown. So it's really good. I think it's a great organization. I'm really excited.
That's what we're doing, and I'm excited that some of the things I've said over and over again to so many people until I'm blue in the face has stuck with some people.
Yeah.
And until it goes into our youth, we won't succeed until we all know the importance of our downtown area and these historic buildings and the importance of revitalizing them.
You have a handout, don't you?
Yes, I handed it to everyone except for Crystal. I ran out. And I think you'd already had one.
It has green
Really have it?
benefits.
Yes. Because old is the new green. Karen somewhat agreed to, in order to represent that hashtag of old is the new green, we're pushing for her to dye her hair green. Because that's a new trend, the new hair colors. So old is the new green. So ask her about it.
Is that gonna happen?
We're trying.
Who's gonna do this for? Who's gonna do this?
Karen Wilcox.
Oh, that'd be great.
Couldn't
Just
happen
ask
to
her
a better
about it.
person.
Yeah.
My money is it won't happen.
Hey.
Yeah, I think I will.
I think she'd be a good sport.
Yeah.
How many youth do you have involved right now?
There was about
15 or
That's
20.
That's a good start.
When I read about it, I think it's a great idea. I mean, they're our future and they should have a say, and I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, we're excited. We've only had one meeting, so we're hoping more will come. Our second meeting's tomorrow, actually.
What time do you meet?
6:30.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Any other questions about it? Our application is there if you know any youth that wants to be involved. Also, the great thing about it too is, and I think what somewhat does appeal to the younger generation and just in school, are the volunteer hours. Main Street's a nationally recognized program that makes resumes look great.
Yes, it does.
And it's volunteer work that is essential. Her coming here tonight, them both coming here tonight, they get to be a part of what runs their city, and so they get to see so many sides of the economics. Then also, which my passion is the history side of it, they get to see all that too, and listen to me talk.
Which is fun.
Will the school allow them to, will the school support them? I mean, maybe not have meetings, but let them put up flyers and pass information?
So far, how it started was I had contacted the school counselor, and I sent out several emails to, I went on the website and found, everyone's email addresses, anyone that was a history teacher, a business teacher. I sent out several emails about what I was trying to start. I added the application that's in front of you and what we were trying to do. And then I got one response, and I went up to the school to ask if I could set out enrollment or applications and explain it, and they were all for it. And I said, well, I only got one response from the email. And she said, well, we've changed over emails and everyone's been really busy. The only response was Pamela, the BPA.
Miss Porter?
Yes. And she's like, she's retired. So I'm like, okay, well, obviously she had time to respond. And so she was the only one. But they all were great about it. They supported it. They let me sit in on enrollment every single day, made a table for me, made space for me, and let me go on it. And I had heard too that the FFA teacher, the ag teacher, had supported it too and had recommended it to his students.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes, thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Thank you all.
Thanks for coming.
Item 9, consider approval of change order number 1 in the amount of $28,700 to the public construction contract of Urban Contractors Incorporated for citywide sanitary sewer Phase 1 capital improvement. What this change order is for is to do the camera work on our sewer lines for the next phase. And that is a $28,700 fee.
This was in the original bid, and we only awarded the base bid. And as the mayor said, it's for, to plan ahead for the next sewer project in the area of Rose Terrace. There's some really, it's going to be some difficult sanitary sewer work and storm sewer. And there's some conflicts in there, and so we need to find out what's going on in the lines there so that we can plan for the next phase. And so that area is in the next phase. It was a little more complicated, and that's the reason we didn't start with that one, because that's an area. Of course, we have a lot of places where we need to focus our work on, so it's not hard to find places. So it's hard to prioritize when they all need it equally. So
Mary, how did they charge us on that? And I think Derek asked this a long time ago, and I can't remember. Do they go on a footage? Or do they just bid a job and give you the price? I mean, do we?
I'm trying to remember.
I mean, I know we have miles and miles of infrastructure, but I wondered if it was on a per foot.
I believe it is. Let me look back at that. It was a lump sum, but I'm thinking it must be based on my classes.
So you're saying it was in the original bid, but then we cut it
Well,
out? Is that
no,
what
we
you're saying?
didn't cut it out. It was just an additional ad. It was an ad alternate. So we had that.
So we didn't award that
We
portion
did
of
not
that?
award that portion of it.
Okay.
But it was part of the bid, but we just didn't award it. It was an ad alternate. And then there was a second ad alternate for street work, for rock, that sort of thing.
As they pass that video camera or lens down through the system, they have exact locations of breaks in the main, collapse points in the main, where there's infiltration, they can see that. And they can also see where tree roots are obstructing, where they are, how much of the pipe's obstructed, where do they need to start removing pipe, and where do they stop, so they don't remove too much. Because we're gonna do the pipe bursting on most of it anyway, probably, so.
So is this an amount that came in on the bid?
Mm-hmm. Yep, this is the amount, 28,700. Oh, my glasses on, sorry.
And this was already budgeted, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I know.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Stroller.
Yes.
Morrell.
Yes.
Platt.
Yes.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Goldner.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Item 10, consider approval of the advertisement of bids for the sludge dewatering container filter to be installed at the wastewater treatment plant. As you see in the background, this project will assist the treatment of sludge in the city's wastewater treatment plant. It is funded in part by the CDBG grant with GREEP and REAP grants. Approval of this item will permit the advertisement to be published and bids to be received on November 9, 2016.
Motion approved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Sterling.
Yes.
Morrow.
Yes.
Platt. Marshall.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Colburn.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Item 11 is consider establishing certain schedules. This has to do with setting these meeting dates for regular meetings as required by state law and setting dates for holidays as provided in the personnel manual. Item C of 11, set the date for city council meetings in 2017. It's in section 11. Where are those? Is it in Mary's?
It's part of the list for PMA.
Oh,
It's
same
same-
thing.
same-
Yeah, same thing.
Item 6.
So,
It's
There it is. It's in with PMA, sorry.
Make a motion to approve the council meeting for 2017.
Item 6.
second.
They meet on the same day, so.
We could change that unless things work.
Where you had the Christmas lights.
Come to the
Council on Thursday?
Let's do that. Saturday morning.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Thank you.
I have a motion.
I made a motion.
On item C, roll call.
Sterling.
Yes.
Morrow.
Yes.
Platt.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Colburn.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Item D, schedule city holidays.
Motion to approve the schedule for city holidays for 2017.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Sterling.
Yes.
Morrow.
Yes.
Platt.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Colburn.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Any new business to be brought before the council this evening? Any new business? Seeing none, item 13, consider convening into executive session for the purpose of conferring on a matter pertaining to economic development for the city of Perry to discuss business proposals in the South Commercial Park to create, retain jobs, payroll, and increase or continue tax collections as public disclosure would interfere with the development and implementation of the proposal pursuant to 25 OS 307C10.
Motion to convene in executive session?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Sterling.
Yes.
Morrow. Platt.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Colburn.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. a motion to reconvene?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second, roll call please.
Stroller,
Yes.
Morrow,
Yes.
Wyatt,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Owen,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Item 15, take any action deemed necessary pursuant to executive section, including not limited to entering into an economic development agreement with a new retail developer. Your motion is? No action needed?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
Adjourn. Roll call please.
Stroller,
Yes.
Morrow,
Yes.
Wyatt,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Owen,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Thank you, council.